What up guys, this is Calvin from Calvinay Fitness. Welcome to the first question and answer video I'm going to be doing with you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you for those that sent me emails last week. They were awesome questions and awesome emails, and I just really enjoyed reading your emails. I was actually really happy that the emails in my fitness account were going up, and I just want to say thank you, and I encourage you guys to keep on doing so. Ask me anything you want, even if you think it's the simplest question that everyone knows the answer to. You guys just hit me and just ask me anything you want. I'll be really happy to answer all of your questions. And the topic that we're going to be talking about today is fat loss. So let's get started. So the first question I got was from Steph, and her question was, how can I lose excess body fat on a certain region in her body? For example, on her arms and on her belly. To answer that question, first you have to know that you can't lose fat on a specific region in your body. You can't target it during exercise, because fat is lost globally, which means that if I'm doing sit-ups, it does not mean that I'm going to lose fat on my belly. The reason for this is because your body tends to use a fat source that's easily accessible first, and some regions are just harder to tap into during exercise. So how I'll recommend you to tackle your goals and to lose fat in those regions is, obviously, first you want to do more exercise. You want to increase your activity levels weekly while maintaining the same everything. So that is going to put you in a caloric deficit. So if you just do more exercise randomly and you eat the same, you're just going to burn more than you intake. That's automatically going to put you into like a fat loss situation, and it's like a long run, it's going to be a healthy fat loss solution for you. And along with that, you can also implement a healthier diet. So obviously eat less fats and sugary things. That's always gonna help a big part. Subconsciously, like, you're just gonna lose fat weekly and you're not even gonna know it. And another thing that I recommend if you wanna lose fat in certain regions is to build more muscle mass in that region. So if you wanna lose fat here, you can do tricep extensions and push-ups or dips. And obviously if you wanna lose fat in your belly, do sit-ups and all those things to build more muscle there. And the reason for this is because at rest, if you have more muscle mass, the capacity to burn fat is way higher than for a region that has no muscle. So if you have more muscle in your abs or in your triceps, you can just burn more fat than if you had less muscle mass. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, try to do more exercise, eat healthier, and build muscle in the regions that you want to lose fat. It may help you reach your goals, and good luck. So the second question that I got is from Mark. He asked me, which is better in terms of fat loss? Low intensity cardio in the fat burning zone or high intensity interval training? So before I answer that question, I'm going to talk about the properties of both types of exercises. So the fat burning zone is basically you working at a heart rate of 60 to 75% during your exercise. People call that the fat burning zone because they assume that if you're working that rate for a while, you're going to be burning fat. I would say that's true to an extent, but it varies between people, because let's say an elite athlete usually burns fat way faster, like into exercise, like 10 minutes in, they're going to be burning fat. But for a guy that just started at the gym, it might take him 20 to 30 minutes before he starts to burn fat, and the main source of fuel that he'll be burning first is carbohydrates and glucose in his body. Another thing about low intensity cardio, you can do it for a longer duration, but the calories that you burn during and after are relatively lower. So that's low intensity cardio for you guys. So moving on, what's high intensity interval training? It's different from low intensity cardio because low intensity cardio usually is a continuous training. So you're gonna be running for a long time. That's like opposite to interval training, which is on and off. So it's in bouts. So let's say I'm gonna do 10 40-meter sprints, and in between each sprint, I'm gonna have like really low rest time. So around like 30 to a minute. And it's gonna be on and off, gonna be in bouts. Everything's gonna be high intensity. If you compare them pound for pound, you're gonna burn way more calories doing high intensity interval training than low intensity is. Like if you just grab them both together and put them side by side, because obviously high intensity interval training is gonna be higher intensity. You're gonna recruit more muscle and put more stress on your body. The downside is that high intensity interval training usually is just like hell. It feels really bad, it's sucky, but it's effective, and also it's not time consuming, it's like efficient. So it's like in a short period of time you're gonna burn a lot of calories, and even after you finish you're gonna still burn calories to recover. So to answer your question, Mark, If you're the type of guy that likes to go on a run for 30 minutes a day, you're probably not going to be burning a lot of fat throughout the majority of the run. You're probably going to tap into your fat source 15 minutes in. And given that you're going to be running at a lower intensity throughout the time, you're going to burn less calories during and after the run. So let's say you're going to have a choice to do HIIT and low intensity training for both half an hour. You're going to burn way more calories during HIIT, obviously. Your body's going to be put under more stress, recruit more muscles, and it's going to use more calories to repair and recover after the whole exercise. So if you had the same time span to do both, HIIT's going to burn more fat. It's going to be more effective for fat loss and shredding up. But if you're a guy that loves to do like run marathons and stuff, you're going to burn heaps of fat, and it's a choice between the two. Both are great. You just have to keep in mind that if you do low intensity cardio, you probably won't tap into your fat source 15 to 30 minutes in, and the calories that you burn are just going to be lower throughout. So the last question I'm going to do is from Karen. She said prior to her new workout routine, she lived a relatively sedentary lifestyle, but recently she stepped on a scale. She realized that she's hovering around the same weight and actually sometimes a few pounds heavier. She increased her exercise from before and ate less. How come it seems like she's gaining weight instead of losing? So I think this happens to a lot of beginners because all of a sudden you increase your energy levels by a lot, and subconsciously you might eat a little bit more for more energy to fuel your workouts. That's totally fine. Also, I think that sometimes if you start a workout routine, your body's not going to be used to it. So it's going to call for a lot of more muscle mass. And when your body develops more muscle mass, it's obviously to get heavier. And the pound for pound ratio for muscle mass and fat is that muscle mass is a lot heavier. So it's like totally normal if your body's just putting on a little bit more muscle. It's probably losing fat at the same time, but hovering around the same weight and being a few pounds heavier a day is probably because you're either gaining muscle mass or it's water weight. I don't think you have anything to worry about. You're definitely not gaining fat. And I would recommend sometimes not look at the scale. The numbers on the scale are not as important when you just started. I think you should use a mirror and just use your eyes just to look at your transformation in the mirror and just be your own judge, because that's how you know like what's changing and what's not. And the scale doesn't say much, you know, it doesn't do you justice. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. So I would just recommend you to keep it up and let me know how it goes, and good luck. I hope that I answered all of your questions properly and I didn't disappoint you guys, so because this is my first time. And keep on sending me questions and emails because it's great. Thanks.